Hey guys, it's JH. Welcome to Practice Tee. Okay, a couple of things. Bill Phillips was saying on his channel, on MMI channel the other day, after watching the Bryson DeChambeau win that tournament on the weekend, and of course invariably when that happens you'll always see the general golfing populace say, wow, there's got to be something in that guy's swing that we should be using. And of course now Bryson is really different to anybody else in that he uses single axis golf swing, same as Mo Norman. Has very short clubs. All his irons are 37.5 inches long, and they're all the same length, which is 7-iron length, and they're all very upright. His clubs are 71 degrees in lie, so they're about 10 degrees up on a normal golf club. But that's because he holds the club like that. Now he's a little bit different. But what is obvious in that golf swing is that he has his arms a long way from the body. Now, Bill was suggesting the other day, and a couple of the guys was suggesting that they actually feel fairly comfortable doing that. And could you do that in channel lock? There's no reason why you can't do that in channel lock. Absolutely no reason why you can't do that. The reason I don't do that, the reason I'm not out here and I'm in here, is that I just find that the closer I can get my hands to my body at address, the easier it is to get in the channel and get the club going rearwards, which is that way, much easier and much quicker than if my arms are out here. It feels really hard to do that. It feels like the club wants to go sideways more than it wants to go rearwards. So that's the reason I do it. But for people who are not comfortable with doing that, there's no reason why you can't have your arms extended, a la Mo Norman and Bryson DeChambeau. You can set it, I mean, normally it's here. It's normally here, guys, for me, and I've got the club inside the ball here so that I can hit out to it. My arm can get a little bit longer because I've got a bit of slack in it here at address, so I know it's going to get longer. But if you are fully extended at address like DeChambeau is, you don't need the club inside the ball because your radius is already established and you're not likely to change that radius on the downswing. I have the club inside the ball because I have a little bit of slack in my arms at address. So sure, you can have the club out, extended out like that. No reason why you can't do that at all. I mean, that's fully extended in terms of arms. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, personally I don't feel as comfortable with that as I feel with my own process, but there's no reason why you can't do it. I mean, the results are pretty good. They're pretty good shots. Let's move this bag, guys. Something interesting I'll show you in a moment, this shaft. So the purpose of this video is to say, yep, if you want to have your arms extended, providing you still have the basic tenets of channel lock, you can have your arm out there and you can still hit the ball. Okay. I mean, I certainly don't feel as comfortable as I do when I have my arms in close, but to show you that you can do it, there it is. They're just beautiful shots. Now the advantage of doing that, of course, is that you establish your radius initially. If your arms are fully extended, that radius shouldn't change in the course of the downswing or the backswing. But if you're like me and you've got a bit of slack here, I know that that arm's going to take that slack out on the downswing, so that's why I put the club inside the golf ball. Now, getting back to basics as we did in the video yesterday, I would suggest for everybody starting out on Channel Lock, or even people that have been in it for a while, to just go down the road of the basics. And you don't have to apply the stuff that I'm applying, because I'm trying to finalise my Channel Lock protocol. But you know, you can certainly play with the basic processes. But it's just so important, guys, with the feet together. Here, step away, keep the feet or the knees bent, and swing into out. Just want to show you something interesting. For people who don't know, Bubba Watson in his driver plays a shaft that's about 15 years old, maybe even longer, and it's the Bimatrix driver shaft. And True Temper made it. It's a graphite shaft, and it's at least 15 years old in technology, maybe more. But it's got a steel tip on it, guys. That 6 or 7 inches here is steel. And it goes up into here, so it's very, very stiff in the tip. Bubba uses this shaft. It's not even made anymore. I don't know where Ping get it from. But Bubba uses that in his club, and I saw them making up a new driver for him the other day in the Ping tour van. And they had these in stock, so they must have got them from somewhere, or bought a whole bunch of them, or maybe True Temper made some up for them. But Bubba uses that. So a buddy of mine just bought a whole bunch of old stuff from a pro shop here that was going out of business, and he got some of these shafts, and I just got one, so I'm going to put it in one of my driver heads. I remember when it first came out. I wasn't that enamoured with it then when it came out, but I don't know, maybe there's a reason for it. But I'm going to fit this up into one of my other heads, so it'll be a interesting story. Yeah, but it's actually a steel shaft. Look, it's actually steel down here, called the Bimatrix. Yeah, Bubba used it exclusively in his driver, and I think he's probably used it maybe his whole career. Interesting. Yeah, the guy just had them in the back room, and he had a half a dozen of them, and my buddy gave me a couple. Okay, guys, elementary stuff. In the backswing, just try and make sure that you flow the club in the backswing. When I say flow it, this flows. Just feel like that's heavy, and it's going back there of its own volition. Here, it's going to keep going. Going to keep going. Just do a few practice swings, guys, where you take the club back, you see it out of the corner of your eye here. If I could get there, I'd be 30 yards longer with my driver, maybe more. I can't do it in a golf swing because I've never done it. Well, I used to when I first started out, but I haven't done it for a long time. And I don't have a program for it anymore. But I would love to get the golf club back here, because I would just thunder the ball from there. Why? Because the club's just travelling further. You don't see long drivers, guys, on the long drive circuit with the club here. You see them with the club down here. Have a look at Joe Miller, the English guy. Joe has it here. Pretty flexible dude, and those guys all get their lead arm up against their face. You've got to have some rotator cuff flexibility there, and you've got to have a young body. So guys, the point I was making there is just let that club track. Just let it track. Let it track. Oh, another thing, it's just a video today with a few bits in it. To convince yourself how this golf swing works, in that it is a closed shoulder back foot ball position with the club tracking into out when you hit the ball. Now the way to get the feel of that, and the easiest way to prove that, is just do this. Just get any golf club, close your shoulders up here, and just take the golf club back in a little swing and hit it like that. And watch what the golf club does. Just watch what it does. If you're in longish grass, have a look at your divot path. As long as you keep that lead shoulder closed and that trail shoulder back and that lead knee forward, the club tracks into out. Now that's how to get the feeling and the understanding of it and the convincing of yourself that that's what the golf swing does, and that's what it's designed to do. So just turn your shoulders, cock your shoulders, get into that lead knee there, just take the club back, and just a little one. Just do that. And if you do that 100 times, and just do that, and you'll get the feeling of what this golf swing's about. I said in the early days when I started Channel Lock, and I was suggesting that, you know, if people wanted to learn it, that they just do baby steps. Now that is the quintessential baby step process in a golf swing. Just take it here, guys. Turn that shoulder, keep that shoulder there, and fire the club here. Take it rearwards. And look where that club is. If I turn around, that club is fully released. Club is pointing towards the target. Hands and arms go out there. And I can tell you, for people that have some idea that the ball will react immediately to the face position once it's hit, I can tell you that's not the case, guys. I spent 5 days, 4 to 5 hours a day beside an Iron Byron testing theories like that years ago. And every time we set the robot up and we had it angled like this on an in-to-out path, the ball would always start on the path line first, and depending on how much the club face was shut down would then dictate how much the ball would move after it started initially. Now you can say whatever you like with TrackMan result. I've been there, I've done it in person with the robot for thousands of golf shots. And we never ever got the ball to start off the face of the golf club left, no matter how much we shut the face down. It always started initially. Oh, look, if you just really shut it down 30 degrees or something like that, that's what you call overwhelming, captivating of the golf ball with the face. That doesn't happen in a golf swing, unless you've got a really bad swing and the body stops and you just snap it over. But the reality is that the first part of the swing is relative to the direction that the club is going. Say whatever you like, guys. I've been beside the robot, we've done the test. And I was involved in TrackMan when it first came out. South African guys that built it, so I know how it works. I know how the launch monitors process information, but I can tell you. Now, the way to prove it yourself is just get here. Just get here like this. Like that. We've got our shoulders closed, our path is here. Now I've got that face shut down, I don't know, 15 degrees. Let me tell you, boys and girls, that club goes exactly where the path is going. Be under no illusions. You can say whatever you like, and there are people that say, oh, the TrackMan says TrackMan. I can tell you, I've been beside the robot. I spent a week there. Thousands of shots. Every time we set the robot up, the ball started in the direction that the robot was configured to go. And the face, after the initial start of the ball, the face took over and the ball went. But just do it yourself, guys. Just do this. I mean, it's just so simple to do. We're just going to fire the club into out. Now I've got that face shut way down. Where does the ball go? The ball goes where the club's pointing. It's not where the face is pointing, or not where the club is being directed, not where the face is pointing. Face is shut way down. Face is pointing over here. So for the doubting Thomases, and the one specific doubting Thomas, who was totally enamoured with TrackMan data, ain't so, buddy. Just ain't so. There's the perfect example. And just prove it for yourself. Just do it yourself. The ball will start where the club initially is directed by the arms. And how much you've got that face closed down will determine, after the ball has initially started, what it's going to do after that. Pretty simple, isn't it? Pretty simple proving of the theory there. And we did it with the robot. Matter of fact, my friend built the robot and did the development work for the company at the time. He was testing a whole lot of clubs for manufacturers. So guys, I know, I've been there, done that. So I'm talking from a place of authority. But just try it yourself. Just get here. Shoulders shut. Club face is pointing over here. Ball is starting in the direction of the club. If you shut the face down crazy, which you would never do in a golf shot, but that's just mechanical trapping. I mean, this is just overload trapping that you can't get away from. If I was aiming to the right there, when my arm's going, and I just turned its face down like that, and I'm going to hit into out, but that face is shut 50 degrees, and I'm going to hit out there. Face is shut 50 degrees. The ball still wants to go in that direction. Hello? What am I missing here? It's a little bit like US media terminology, fake news. Well, I think that's a fake perception. It's something that's put around by the launch monitor guys. Guys, I've done it. There it is there. The ball will start initially in the direction that the club goes. Try it for yourself. Over and above that, but getting back to working out what the channel lock golf swing is, just get here, turn the shoulders, overdo it. Get in here, hunker down, and just hit the ball and stop here. Just a little swing. Inside here. That's what this is, channel lock, guys. That's a channel lock golf swing. That's what it is. That's channel lock. Full swing's just a bigger version of it. But that essentially is the mechanics of the golf swing, and that's what you've got to feel and basically position yourself like when you hit the ball with channel lock. You've got to be in that position, in that body configuration there. Here, we're closed down here. I'm going to fire the club here. That's where we've got to be. Just do that to get the feel. Just a little swing. See, look. Shoulders are closed. Club face is released over here towards the target. Just do that. Do it the littlest of swings. Because you have to feel channel lock first before you really can apply channel lock. And the worst thing you do is go out and try and hit full shots with it, guys, because it's so different. And your body's not geared for it. It's not geared for that back ball position. Your eyes are not geared for staying back there in that position, and your shoulders are certainly not geared for staying as closed as you need to have them stay closed in the channel lock golf swing. They're not, they haven't been there before. They're not programmed for that. So you can't start them out with a big overload program. You just need a little program. Just get here like that. Just take the club back. Here. So that club's released, go, look. Club face to the target. It feels like a slap. I use the terminology slap, and I get hammered for saying slap. Guys, it's a terminology. And when I say that I want my shoulders closed at impact and after impact, as a feeling after impact, as a perceptional feel. I don't want to be there like that. As I get in here and I've hit the ball, then I can get a little bit of rotation, but I don't want to have a big revolving rotation. Sure, the shoulders are going to open a little bit after impact. It doesn't matter, the ball's gone. Again, I'm missing something here when someone says, oh yeah, but your shoulders are open, JH, after you've hit the ball slightly. Well, hello, so what? The ball's gone. They were closed when I hit the ball. They were closed when I hit the ball, which is all we're trying to do. That is the whole idea of the golf swing, to have the shoulders closed and the ball back and the club being swung into out in a pronounced fashion. That's the whole idea of the golf swing. What happens after impact doesn't matter, technically, but it will help you to stay shut down if you have the feeling that you'll still be shut down after you hit the ball. That is a perception, and I've gone into great explanation about that in the evolution of channel lock, saying that, you know, we want to be closed post-impact. It's a perception, and I've said it was a perception. But it's a good perceptional feel because it will give you a bit of an insurance policy on keeping the shoulders just a little bit more closed, a little bit longer at impact. Doesn't matter what happens after impact. And pedanticism that creeps into some of the replies and the posts, it's unnecessary, guys. It doesn't need to be like that. It just, if you listen to my presentation dialogue, I will always explain the perceptional values that happen in this golf swing and the things you should feel as a perceptional value. There are forces, there are velocities, there are accumulations that are released in terms of forces that will dictate what's going to happen to the body post-impact. You can't shut those forces down completely. You might do yourself an injury, but you're going to make the swing into a, you know, like a tin man type golf swing, and you don't want that. So anyway, I just wanted to clear up those points. But those little tests that I showed you there, indisputable. Just absolutely indisputable, or undisputable. Depends what part of the world you live in. Or non-disputable, if you live up here. Anyway, guys, it's just a video of a few bits and pieces. Come back in a moment and do another video on grip and holding the golf club.